Well, it was a barn burner of a loser semifinals match, but now we find ourselves in the winners finals with Indy Esports going up against the Ottawa Braves, the titan of the CCL here for the Ottawa Braves. And Indy Esports, they got a lot to prove here inside of this best of five series, but against, again, one of the best, if not the best team inside of the CCL, pending their sister team as well. But proper, we've talked a lot about how good Ottawa is. Indy's got a really nice roster, though. I think that they could potentially cause an upset here, at least in one or two maps.
They're definitely going to be able to find and cause a lot of damage. That's for sure. You know, we saw them go to map number 5 versus the Hilltoppers just yesterday. But this Indy Esports roster, of course, represented by Alicio, First Blood King, Big Head. You got to know him, always hitting the flanks. Coming along with Zerk and Marcus. This is a well-stable team, but much like you said, I guess it's the second best team across collegiate Call of Duty right now to their sister team, Ottawa Gold. Ottawa Braves are definitely the team to be reckoned with. I couldn't be more happy to be casting this match.
Well, we are here for the Mutineers College COD Invitational presented by Zaxby's, but Proper Cast got a chance to sit down with Austin Cruelty of the Ottawa Braves roster before the tournament here. We got a quick interview to play for you before we get into the game.
What's up, everybody? Proper here with another interview. I have the grand pleasure to be joined by the captain of one of the Ottawa rosters, Austin Cruelty. What's going on, bud?
Hey, not much, man.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. As an amateur competitor, now turned into a CCL extraordinaire. What's going on?
Well, I got a scholarship offer from Ottawa University going into like my junior year of college. Through that, we formed the 2 Ottawa squads. I played for Ottawa Black, where I kind of captained both teams though. This year, Ottawa Black ended up getting runner-up, and Ottawa Gold ended up winning the CCL as well as the ABC Invitational. So it's been a pretty successful year in the college esports scene.
As far as recruiting goes, future down the line, how has that been going for y'all?
Don't really want to announce anything just yet, but with Noisy graduating and I'll actually be done. This is actually my last year going in. We do have a few tricks up our sleeve and a few players we're excited to get in here.
Let's take a look at some of the teams that you're going to be competing against in the CCL X Mutineers events. You got USF, Texas Tech, KSU, Oklahoma Crimson. Is there any one team in particular that you want to face the most?
Probably SEU Blue. I know they've been putting in a lot of work. We also played them in grand finals of the eFuse X CCL tournament. So I'm really excited to play off against them.
Nice. I'm definitely excited to be able to see that run back too. Calling that match was exciting to say the least. How do you think your team as a whole is going to be faring in this tournament? Because everybody so far that we've interviewed has been saying we want to face Ottawa. If you want to be the best, you got to take out the best. You guys have a giant target on your backs as a 4-player squad. But as a whole, how do you think you all are going to fare in this weekend's competition?
I don't think a lot has changed. Our hardpoint game's still really strong. Our weakest is probably the S&D, so if our teams are looking to take maps or even a series off of us, they're going to have to step up their S&D game. And then you're going to have to get lucky on control because we're pretty tight-knit.
That's true. Respawn is the game mode, but you heard it here first, the Cliff Notes from Austin Cruelty himself. If you want to beat them, you gotta win that swing map and take the search and destroys. But now we gotta talk about our main sponsor here with Mutineers as well, is Zaxby's. You gotta go-to meal there, my friend.
Hey, I gotta go with the signature spicy sandwich.
Can't go wrong there. Can't go wrong there. You're making my mouth salivate just thinking about that. How do you balance school on top of being an amateur Call of Duty player? I mean, there's no question about it. You are a collegiate athlete. You are also competing in the amateurs, the amateur opens as best as you can, and as well as finals just this past year in Cold War. How does all of that balance while you're also pursuing your college degree?
Well, I'm going into like my senior year. I'm still trying to take 18 credit hours. Like I have a pretty stacked schedule. However, like, you know, I've been through so many semesters of this. You know, I try to balance my work. I try to get my work done before hopping in any matches or anything like that. I try to get it taken care of like beforehand. You know.
Any shout outs for your teammates, yourself included, Ottawa as a whole? What do you got?
I just want to shout out my parents. You know, they've always been super supportive of me, and almost done with school, so I'll be coming home anytime now.
Love that. Well, Cruelty, thank you so much for your time and good luck in the weekend's competition.
Thank you.
Calm, cool, collected, but most importantly, confident is Austin Cruelty, not only for this tournament, but for everything that he does inside of Call of Duty. And a little bit of that sappiness at the end there. It's enough to make a grown man cry. It was so beautiful. But I must say, Proper, that must have been a fun interview there with Austin. You got to learn a little bit of the insight behind not only what he does on a day-to-day basis, but of course how he kind of manages and balances everything not only with school but with Call of Duty as well. And I'm sure not only that his parents were happy to hear the shout out and at the end, but of course that he's still nailing those courses like everybody hopes you do when you go to college. I know a lot of people don't really follow that trend all the time, but it's nice to hear Austin has got a little bit of a balance there and didn't drop out like somebody.
It's awesome to be able to get like a lot of the personalities behind a lot of the players that we do see. I mean, you got to remember that Cruelty, much like everybody from Ottawa, are highly regarded and respected in North America challengers. Our tier 2 scene here for Call of Duty. So I mean, it's just awesome to be able to see not only again how we all mentioned, you know, the balancing between being a collegiate athlete and also wanting to be an overall slayer in North America. It's all very, very cool. It was definitely very fun to be able to get some further insight from the dual captain of the Ottawa teams himself. But without further ado, let's hop into it. Map number 1 here will be right hardpoint in between the Pirates versus the Braves.
Right off the rip, you're going to see this out of Indy Esports getting in towards the point. We got to talk about this roster a little bit, but really not in depth. You look at Big Head, who was a part of the roster a little earlier this year that was making some noise. You got Jzerk, you got Alessio, you got Marxist, and really this entire roster proper. It kind of reminds me of not of a wild card team that just kind of meshes really well together, but I think over the course of the year that this team is going to grow to very, very well and stout roster, and I think it's going to be one of those kind of teams that we talk about throughout the entirety of the year is one of those teams that could potentially beat the Ottawa Braves, not only here in this tournament, but we get towards the playoffs.
Oh, absolutely. Inside of this map, though, I mean, it's been a pretty undeniable P1 for Ottawa. They've been able to put themselves on the zone and then continuously push Indy into these very bottlenecky choke points. But what the Pirates are going for is P2, Big Head Alessio, and Zerk. They actually get a 4 down, but Ottawa, they're still spawning in, given the positioning that is being held by Indy Esports on the map. They are in possession of the hill so far, but need a few more eliminations before they feel safe.
Jzerk trying to clear out the back, but Fame and Cruelty will be there. We'll go ahead and shut down that push. Big Head in towards the front. We'll try to find the shots there on the Lightning, but great bait and switch there from the Ottawa side, and the Braves will retake the kitchen in full possession. They've got the back spawns to go along with it. And if you guys know anything about hardpoint, this Ottawa Braves roster is good at it, but more importantly, they can slay out everybody at any given time. Cruelty with 3. Noisy cleans up the 4th and final kill, and now they can start pushing across the map. It's going to be a 1v3 over towards point number 3, with Alessio being the only one here for Indy Esports.
Yeah, Cruelty with a 74U just locking down the main choke point. Normally, that's Noisy's position, and, well, normally the call that we normally say, but you see all of Ottawa just quite frankly slaying out, and the communication is also coming through as well. They confirmed that, yeah, Indy Esports, they did spawn back in for P2, given that Ottawa had already pushed through Zig, but they're set up here for the initial time. Got to be able to deal with this push that's coming through from Waits. Noisy does find the trade onto Zerk. Now the hit's coming through the front, and well, Noisy is the only player here for Ottawa. Got to be a one-man army, and we've been seeing some pretty stylish things from them all weekend long, but can't hold on for much longer.
That was a great break there from Indy. They get in towards the point. They get those first couple of kills. They break from the arch side and are able to get into the point to go ahead and hold for about 15 seconds now. From the front side, you got to look to Alessio, who's got a kill there onto Cruelty. Noisy's going to be able to find the kill there onto Jzerk. But, I mean, it's really just trades right now. Nothing in terms of a break yet coming from the Ottawa Braves. And as Lightning will fall, followed by Fame as well, you really just got to start to think here. Indy Esports, they're looking good on P3. They can chain this over towards P4, at least maybe break out in towards middle map. They could definitely try to at least break in towards P4 on the basketball court.
Yeah, it goes back to a point that you brought in when we were flying into this map, right? I mean, when you think about this roster, I see them as a very stable team. No really wild card antics, because, I mean, both Big Hand and Zerk, across the tail end of the Challengers year, you know, top 16, top 32 finishes all the way up until finals. It's a very good team, and you can't sleep on them. In Ottawa, and I have to be looking at the setup for P4. They're zoning away from jungle. Still 2 players back here. Marcus is going to be a little bit late to the party, but it's still being locked down by Fame, who does find that crucial 2-piece. Well, the hit from the front, not exactly a big one. Zerk's just going to slide in real quick, kind of confirm that Cruelty is inside the small room. Got to be hitting this one more time once the numbers come through from Spiral.
From the back, they get a beautiful pinch there with the rest of the teammates. Now from the front side, Noisy tries to look in, gonna get stuck with the Semtex, and we'll have to back off, but you gotta look behind. Lightning is coming through on a nice little flank. We'll be able to find one with the 74U, but you gotta look for Alessio as well and Big Head. We're trying to make some noise towards the point. Big Head's gonna be able to find the first through the door, finds the second one as well as Cruelty falls, and now it's gonna be down to Noisy and Big Head in the 1v1 on the point for the last 14 seconds to contest.
12 and 7 for Big Head. Now 12 and 8 as Noisy will find that trade inside of the queue, but it's just scrap time. Just 5 seconds remaining before we gotta fully focus towards the middle of the map. Big Head actually spawns in for P2, so Lightning is not going to be fully aware of this, but still off screen actually turns around and finds the elimination as well. Fame will be right there to be able to get the trade onto Zerk. So the setup will be here for 5. Yet another hard point for Ottawa for the time being. But how long can they hold for the Pirates?
It's going to be about locking down these angles. Noisy's got a beautiful long-range shot over the top. Jazer slides around the corner, is able to rip the player out of kitchen. So now that's going to allow things to be in a 4 versus 3 over towards the point. Trades going back and forth. Fame in middle map. Alessio with the help of his teammate from behind, and Jazer are going to get in towards this point. They've done a great job of being able to break hills consistently here, namely over towards P3 and 4. Now in P5 as well. That's 3 consistent breaks after Ottawa have gotten themselves the early rotation. And as Lightning and Fame will go ahead and tag team for 1. Alessio is going to be there, and they're just going to hold them out of middle map for now. All they got to do is recognize the play that's coming through kitchen and then start to work their way back down over towards P1 and the south side of the map for the ring hard point in their second set of rotations.
Yeah, I mean, the Pirates are 100% playing off of their break potential. You're not wrong to notice that this time around comes from the open and pillar side inside of P5 now with just a handful of seconds before we go in towards the second set of rotations. 3 seconds in between these two teams. What was starting to look like just maybe about the 20 seconds Ottawa got off the initial hard point was going to separate these two teams. Indy actually hold on towards P5, and they're playing with this laundry side as well, getting a couple of eliminations just outside of red. Now they can start storming and contesting this hard point as the numbers are funneling in.
This has just been beautiful from Indy Esports. They really don't care if they set up for the next hill or not. They've been able to keep this game closely contested, and now for the first time, they're on the verge of being able to take the lead here in map number 1. In middle map, they've got to focus their attention, though. You got Lightning and Noisy both playing inside. Now you're going to look back over towards the point as Cruelty slides on in for a 2-piece, going to back behind, and now everybody kind of just split spawning for the side of Indy Esports. You got 2 over towards the kitchen spawn side, the other 2 coming through middle map from the garage spawn side, and now, of course, Lightning's going to be behind the 2 players that spawned over towards the garage, but they've got point number 2 locked down. They've got the kitchen side for themselves, and now Cruelty's going to try and work towards the back. Such a difficult gunfight to win, and 9 times out of 10 you're going to be falling if you're coming from the laundry side. Jazer with beautiful shots over the top is going to lock down the spawns, at least for the time now, for Indy Esports, while they go ahead and rack up that V2 kitchen time.
This Zerk in a tree. 1v2, whether or not you want to look at it, so it might just be a double challenge. We'll see Noisy cross. We'll find Cruelty. He's got who's right here comes Noisy, is able to pick up that elimination as well. 4 straight for Zerk. And they're doing a great job, much like you said, you know, after losing that initial gunfight back by P1, they wanted to confirm the spawns here for P2 and hold on for all of that initial time and what soon's to follow, because that plagued them back on the first set of hills. They were here for the initial time, but they could not flip out the spawns, and now it's Ottawa through the front. Big Head will find some good team shots to get a 2-piece. They know Lightning's inside money window, so Alessio is going to pick that back up. A damn near flawless hardpoint so far from the Pirates here at 2.
Jazer will finally fall, was on 4 in a row before finding himself back on the respawn block, and Alessio just deciding to move his way up the map. Not really cautious whatsoever, just flinging his gun wherever he so chooses. And he's able to snap and find the kills instantaneously. Lightning going to be the first one up the challenge, but Cruelty over the top on the Heglitch is going to force Alessio to back all the way off with 22 HP. In towards the hill, Cruelty's weak, Lightning weak as well, but should be a trophy to go ahead and stop, and it will. So as Jazer tries to hit the front, Fame's got a beautiful angle, not only in the middle map, but over towards the gym side as well. Marcus plays the pillar Heglitch. They get the first blood here on the attacking Indy Esports roster. Now the second one around the corner is going to be Alessio. Fame with the second. Fame going to look around to try and find the third, and that's all 4 down for the side of Indy Esports. They'll spawn relatively close over towards Art, but the Ottawa Braves, they hold on for the last 35 seconds. They might be able to play the scrap time here, pending Indy Esports, pushing straight to the front once again.
Fame so confident, barely took any damage from the first, so they can take the second as well, and they are not moving from this van position. They're going to end up finding some team shots. Lightning will get that elim onto Big Head, but still on 5 straight, 1 minute and 40 seconds in the hill itself for Fame. Just playing that OBJ and finds kill number 6, so probably very, very close to that artillery strike, if not already earned, just off OBJ time alone. Now we got to look at this rotation over towards New. Lightning says, hey, Zerk, how's it going? How's that corner look? Just waiting for the basketball to come back to them. That's not how the game works, my friend. And now it's going to be Ottawa in 4P4 initial time, past the 220-point mark as well.
One thing you got to know from both of the Indy Esports roster and the Braves is that both of these two teams just play so well around one another on the map. They're always revolving, baiting and switching, but more importantly, there's always an opportunity for a trade from both of these rosters. And Indy Esports, once again, although they didn't break P3, they get the basketball court break, so now they're able to hold this down, and they're going to be able to get themselves back into this game. Jazer almost able to get the shots over the top there onto Fame, but now you get 2 working their way through the back and another flanking player from middle map. Big Head's going to go big for 1, but Fame comes through with a break of their own. Now the Braves inside of the point, they're not going to be able to win off of this hard point directly. We're going to at least be forced to see map, or rather, hill number 5 side in the middle of the map. But Indy Esports, they're not done pushing this hill just yet. They don't want to give these oh so important 10 seconds of scrap time to the Ottawa Braves.
They're trying to diminish just their error margin, right? I mean, if you could try to contest this time and keep them below 240, that would have been great, but it's got to be a flawless P5 here for the Pirates. They broke the last time around, and they're going to have close spawns as well. Nice 2 kills coming through for Indy Esports. Looking for the setup for New. Fame is still hitting this from the backside, and they're completely unaware of this. Should be able to find Marcus from behind inside a money window, yeah, but the initial time still being held. Fame still holding on to these streaks, finds one with the cruise. There's the second, in for the time. Ottawa should close it out here.
So big for a break. Fame over towards the ring side. Marcus was the second one to push up. Nobody's going to be able to get in towards the point. And although it was a damn close hard point for map number 1 there, Ottawa Braves, they close it out like we all thought they would with a 250 to 205 win. But again, as I said, that was a close game proper. And if Indy Esports can continue to play like that, and more importantly, take down the side of Ottawa, and what we consider probably one of their weaker modes in Search and Destroy, we could be easily looking at a 1-1 tie series here in our Winners Finals.
Oh, absolutely. You know, going into the standoff, Search and Destroy, I think that that's got to be a really good game mode, you know, for this Indy Esports roster because of a lot of things that we were able to see just in that raid hardpoint alone. But I mean, the one X factor that you just can never really prepare for, right? Is the fact that Fame just went on, like, what was it, almost like a 10 spree at one point in time there towards the end. They got double streaks, and they were just holding on to it. Fame's so smart to be able to recognize, hey, the break came through on P4. I got to pull myself back and put myself in a situation to where I can guarantee the cruise missile. If it wasn't at least one streaks, they had 2 good looks at it to be able to break inside that P5, which is the most open hard point across every single one of them to try to contest that time. And well, at that point, Indy Esports just needed every single last bit of it. So they got to look towards the Search and Destroy here, Alex, because if you go down 2-0, and like you had already coined as well, and how Austin had said, it's one of those things that it's their weakest map mode. If you can't take that map off them ahead of what you would hope to be a swing map mode, it might just be GG's, and you might just have to go down a loser's bracket.
Unlike our last Best of 5 series we saw on the stream for our first match of the day, this is not a losers finals matchup or a losers bracket matchup whatsoever. This is the winners finals. So you lose here, you at least get one more chance, but you have to go down and you have to face the St. Edward's University roster, who not only was looking very dangerous inside of the last Best of 5 series, but they're always going to play it scrappy. And if you're Indy Esports, you don't want to go down there because the last time you played them, although it went to a map number 5 and you were able to scrape by and be able to take that series, it's still one of those things to where St. Edward's, they want their revenge, but more importantly, they want a chance at Ottawa. I don't really think they care all that much about
Everybody
Indy Esports
does.
right now. They just want their chance at Ottawa. And right now, Indy Esports, although they played a close map number 1, it's going to take more than just a close map number 1 to pull it out against Ottawa. And it all goes back full circle again to that talk of the Search and Destroy, to that map number 3. If you go down 2-0, chances are you're not going to be able to take that last map off of Ottawa that you need to at least see in map number 4. The only real exception to that was, of course, when we had Andrew Crooked being able to play on Concord Maroon last year, and they were able to take that map number 3, but they couldn't simply take any other modes off of Ottawa because they're just so strong in those other modes, specifically being those not only hard point, but even in S&D where it would be their weaker, quote unquote, kind of mode, they're still extremely strong in that. There's a reason that not only did they not drop a single map the entire year last year, but they still continue to be the best and most dominant team, not allowing teams even a chance to strike at the jugular.
Yeah, I mean, you bring up Crooked, but I mean, you also got to remember what playoff Red Chase always brought to the table too. I'm gonna miss old Concord Maroon just right here. It's right in the fields, but either way, I mean, Ottawa Braves probably got pushed to the brink the most in Search and Destroy. They've been flawless all weekend. Keep in mind, they threw out everybody, but Texas State did bring them to a round 11 back on the Express Search and Destroy. And I know Express versus Standoff, both throwback Black Ops 2 maps. Almost everything is here in Cold War. But the way that you might be able to kind of lean on that, if they go back and watch any sort of VOD, what they were able to capitalize on for Texas State, they were late recognizing, hey, we have to match the pace for Ottawa Braves. Because, I mean, the cat's out of the bag here. They're going to try to run at everybody. We're not going to see a lot of set strategies out of Ottawa, especially for the high-profile names that we do have represented on this roster. So if you're able to not only just somehow meet that pace, but also just remember one of the most crucial points of Search and Destroy is to be able to get those trades, be in positions where you can easily find those. At Texas State were continuously shutting down, barring just one massive ace from one of their players in their early going of things.
Well, you know, Indy Esports might not be Texas State. They might be a little bit better of a roster, more well put together, I could say. But nothing takes away from the fact that the last time Noisy played Standoff Search and Destroy, he not only did he end the game on a 12 spree, down losing the first 2 maps, but was 16-2 overall inside that Search and Destroy here on Standoff. So you give Noisy the ability to pop off. He's going to be able to fly around the map with a submachine gun. And I'm kind of upset that we're not going going to be able to see a checkmate here for the side of Ottawa, because Noisy Airlines really is in full force every single time. The only time that I've really seen Noisy kind of back down is when he kind of respects another player and sort of in that top lane kind of regard. So when you look at this Ottawa Braves roster, sure, they're going to run at everybody, but you always have to be not only wary, but very, very careful challenging those initial gunfights directly in the middle of the map or even on those flanks, because you leave on one angle, one lane unchecked, that's where they'll strike you from, and that's how they take those crucial S&D rounds.
Yeah, I mean, all of Ottawa at this point, both their gold and their black roster. This is Ottawa black, of course. Any single one of them, of course, you give them an inch, and they're going to be taking full states from you. It's not even miles at that point. It's hundreds of thousands. They know how to smell blood in the water and absolutely capitalize on a lot of these mistakes. They've been playing in the search and destroy community for a very, very long time and have been playing Call of Duty at a very high level, even though to the amateur scene, for quite some time as well. So there's things that you have to be able to take into full effect. But let's go ahead and hop in towards this standoff search and destroy. It's going to be an offensive round first and foremost for Ottawa. We're taking the slow go of things so far. Just looking for background control and maybe off of what Fame can find from this peeking statue.
Oh, bad timing for Fame to pull out the Semtex. Going to weaken up Alessia, who's playing inside of the cut. Going to run out straight into middle map and into the line of fire of Fame. So that's the first blood on the board for the Braves. Over towards the A site, you're looking for Big Head, who's just right under that tractor, and somehow is able to get those shots onto Fame. So weakens Fame up, forces him off the statue head glitch, and maybe that's going to be a little bit of an opportunity for Indy Esports to start pushing up the map here, but they're still in a 2 versus 3. Bomb will go down over towards B, and now it's Marks as well as Jazerk. The retake over towards that site.
Bomb plan is going to be so hard to try to work your way back towards. Might just have to try to commit a flank all the way back through the alleyway, but Marcus is trying to lock down the angle by this tank side. Brown can't lock down anything besides a handful of damage, but with 28 seconds remaining, will be doubled up here with their duo of Zerk, but they will go down, unfortunate to say. A brilliant round out of Ottawa. Again, Fame with that Semtex initially where it came from. There's just no way that Alessio had any idea that it was going to be coming through on the statue side. So they had just assumed that maybe it was from a different angle. I'm not too sure. Maybe they slid just too far, but regardless, that first blood just kind of spirals out of control because then the push comes through from Brown. Again, first round, no trophy systems, a lot of value being found with stuns and Semtexes from that specific position. Once they got control of the courtyard, Ottawa just so brilliantly just plants the bomb. It just plays close.
3 hit all the way around through the back alley from Ottawa. This could be beautiful here, but they also leave the entirety of the A side wide open. But Fame with that first blood is going to weaken the forces a bit, but you still got the bomb down over there and a complete free plant over towards A. You got to watch for the fast flank here, though, because here comes Noisy, here comes Lightning. Noisy opens the door up with the first one, looks for the second. There comes Noisy. Big Head, the last one alive in a 1 versus 3 around the right side corner. Everybody is coming in for the pinch here from the side of Ottawa. The Semtex in the weaken him up, and Noisy finds the third there. Beautiful round from Ottawa, but more importantly from Noisy, as he finds not 1, not 2, but 3 kills in the round.
And that's back-to-back off of just tremendous information of Fame. I mean, once Fame goes down, he probably saw a second player. That's got to be a pretty heavy A committal. So Noisy more than likely communicating to Ottawa that, hey, I'm going to hit this all the way through the alleyway, and absolutely does to such a high degree. Get some help there at the end, of course, to Big Head, but what a tremendous 3-piece from Noisy. Again, not being able to cover the flank, trying to get coverage of the A site. Not all of the information found off of that first blood for the Pirates. Ottawa just capitalized on top of it.
Bit of a quiet map number 1 from Noisy, but there was only a matter of time until he started to find his stride in this best-of-5 series. Indy Esports, they look good in the hard point. Again, it's only 2 rounds of search and destroy, but it's all come down to those first bloods. Other the lack thereof, every single round. Noisy just going to be trying to play slow over towards Gas. Bomb going to be moved up in towards that brown building with playing our own Lightning. Trying to make that charge. First kill. Well, there it's going to go to Noisy. Do you really expect anything else, Proper?
No, not when Noisy's starting to heat up like this. Stun over the top will confirm at least some information. That was way deeper, but Cruelty already knew this. Some shots from Marcus's Trig 6 over top of this tank will go out. Down to 48 seconds, and you can tell that the bomb wants to move towards this B site. The biggest problem with all of this, of course, is you have Marcus overlooking this, and as well as you could have a peek out from Grandma's.
Slowly pushing up the map. Noisy in the middle, just trying to make some noise here. Promise I didn't mean it to sound like that, but as he comes around the corner, Marcus is going to be there, but Big Head runs directly into the line of fire. Oh, you got snapped up onto Jazerk. That was 5 in a row there from Noisy. Actually, it might have been 6. As Jazerk now looks to push out of the deli. Shots in the middle map. Is going to find Fame on the first. Ego chows the hell out of Lightning there. I don't know what that was. Maybe just didn't want to give away the positioning or didn't want Lightning to be able to run away. Either way, though, definitely a dangerous position to put yourself in, and another round win goes to the way of the Braves.
Noisy just finds some very nice timing there to be able to completely hit through the middle of the map. Where most teams try to buy some space with Semtexes, Ottawa just throw Noisy instead. You might as well just go ahead and cause some noise, create some space. That space comes through from a very big two-piece. Like you said, I got the information of Zerk as well, so they knew exactly where to look even when the bomb was going down. 7-2 for Noisy going into round number 4. Total of 5 eliminations total for Indy Esports. They need to make something happen here on this offense. They need some sort of lifted spirits, and it looks like some immediate Brown control and a great first blood for Marcus on the Cruel.
Still double donuts for Independence Community College right now, as the Ottawa Braves look to go ahead and retake here in the 3 versus 4. They still got the defensive hold, but everybody's spread pretty far out across the map right now. Big head around the corner is going to spot out Lightning, so they know where that player is. Alessio might get a little dicey here through middle map. Might try to hit in towards the deli. They're going to actually get the audio cue most likely for that player hopping over the wall. But now spots out Noisy in middle map. Noisy is going to be able to find the shots, but Fame from the side is going to be able to get the call from the teammate that the player is close. Now that makes things into a 3 versus 3 with 45 seconds left.
Got to make this play happen through the back alleyway. Potentially be in isolation on the Lightning, or could absolutely flip on his head, throwing shoulders towards that corner. Very tough gunfight, but Lightning will be Semtex out from Deli. Will take the immediate push over towards the courtyard. Actually finds Marcus along the way, forcing the 2v2.
Oh, Jay Zerk around the corner, not going to be able to spot out Fame. Somehow Fame took so long to get that kill. Might have caused Noisy to fall in the process, but luckily enough, he's able to escape out with his life. Big Head trying to push through middle map. Might be able to get the bomb down to B. Fame actually doesn't look towards the player just yet. Trying to look for the head glitch there. You got to get this bomb down here. You're going to start to go for it. Fame might be able to peek around the corner. They don't want to peek just yet. The blind's going to come through, though. The stun check is going to be in, but Big Head's able to escape all the way back into the courtyard. Now in a 1 versus 2. You got players collapsing. First player to push through should be Noisy. Might just decide to hop on the bomb here. They come in a double push. Oh, almost is able to snap onto the second, but Fame cleans out where Noisy couldn't be able to strike. That's going to be another round win here for Ottawa as they go 4-0 here instead of the search and destroy into Esports. This does not look like the same team for map number 1.
No, it doesn't, but you're also messing with an Ottawa roster that are just playing so wise, so clinical, a veteran search and destroy, if you will. I mean, even in that 2v1, just one of many things that we can take away from a brilliant round that just unfolded in front of us, that recognizing, hey, we're in a 2v1, let's just post up together, or at least we might be able to find a trade, which Fame inevitably does to win the round, but you play the post plan in that exact situation, especially here on standoff, where you can find a lot of information, and just once the confirmation from the bomb site was there, it just being able to play for that trade at the end will garner us a 4-0 lead for Ottawa here in the search and destroy. Big Head finds first blood, but we've seen this before. Even when Pirates do find first blood, it typically means a trade, and it does. See if it can amount to a round win.
Fame still on 3 in a row. We saw the streak that he was able to go on in map number 1. Was able to find himself not only the artillery barrage, but the cruise missile as well around the corner. Tyler Noisy just goes big with a huge 2-piece and now leaves Fame in a 1 versus 1. Much more doable here for the Braves, but the same junction. Indy Esports still looking for their first round win here in the search and destroy. This would be a big confidence boost if Alessio is able to go ahead and best Fame in this 1 versus 1. But Fame, he's looking for the top of the staircase. He knew Alessio might be able to try and come through on the flank. However, he doesn't realize he's going to go all the way wrap around through the back building. And now might be able to work this over towards B. The question is, will the timing be for Alessio or will it be for Fame as he slides out from the top? It's going to work out for Fame.
Timing, Fame will slide out. Just had no idea. Not a single clue. Checked every single angle besides the one possible timing you could have got past the shed. Very unfortunate. And I honestly thought that with Noisy being able to find this 2-piece, that was going to flip around on its head, because when I passed it to you when we were off that trade, Alessio was able to find just one more elimination, giving them the numbers advantage. But it's always that X factor, right? I mean, Noisy up at 9-4 is something that you can never really set yourself accustomed to. You just got to be careful of your flanks, because Noisy is just going to try to push it every single time. Getting themselves on the board, though, are the Pirates. Going to be looking like a mid-map coverage here for both these teams. 3 players strong for Ottawa inside the courtyard.
Fame forced to slide off the balcony. Head glitch is going to allow Indy Esports to start making their way into the middle of the map. Noisy, Lightning, though, they're in the courtyard just playing a tandem push right now. And with Cruelty also holding the angle right outside of Deli, and Fame starting to work his way up in towards the top. Grandma's, this is looking like it could be another Ottawa Braves round win. Although we really haven't gotten too far into the round just yet, Indy Esports haven't been able to work the bomb really anywhere out of their spawn. And now they're going to walk directly into the mouth and the trap that Ottawa Braves is trying to force upon them. Big Head's going to be the first one to challenge down around the corner. There's Noisy to pair with Lightning. 2 kills down. Jazerk, though, trying to come out on a trade, but Fame in the corner, just going to be able to watch. And everybody from Ottawa playing so smart, so together.
Man.
They wait for everybody from the side of Indy Esports to make the push out. And from that point on, it's just a downhill spiral and a snowball effect that allows Ottawa to go down to the match point and put themselves up 2-0.
Cohesion is gross. I mean, like, this was supposed to be a bait and switch. Maybe Noisy goes down, but just ends up staying alive from the battering ram that was Ottawa inside that courtyard. Like I said, once they got the information, they were inside of Brown. They're like, okay, it's time to hit it. As it goes up to 11-4. On map point here to lead the series 2-0. Ottawa on standoff. Just the teamwork is at an all-time high on the back end of just finding a lot of information and snapping.
0-4 here for Cruelty. Uncharacteristic.
As
In a map
EKIA
where you
probably
have
looks really
5-1, it probably does. But I mean, you got to look to Noisy though. 11-4, pretty much taking all the kills off the map for the Ottawa side. And Fame at 7-3 with Lightning at 6-2. I mean, they're really not that far behind. Everybody from Ottawa except really Cruelty right now having a great game. But do you really need to pop off when your teammates doing all that and more? Well, the answer quite simply is no. Indy Esports though on the opposition side, it's really all the opposite. Everybody negative. Haven't been able to find anything except that nice little round win. But it's still a 5-1 deficit. You got everybody from the side of Ottawa now starting to push up. Alessio finds the trade around the corner. Fame's going to be able to find the shots there. Noisy there. Cruelty will finish with a donut. But the Ottawa Braves will finish with a 6-1 victory. And now have a 2-0 series lead against the side of Independence Community College with a chance to close things out inside of map number 3 and move themselves onto the grand finals.
I like how out of every other talking point we possibly could have walked away from at the end of that map, the one focus we're going to have is just like, dude, Austin Cruelty. Like, wait, what's going on here? Yeah, it's just the donut. Again, I'm sure the EKIA probably looks different. I feel bad because I don't have the ability to go back and at least praise the amount of damage that they were able to find because we only saw so little of it because it was just the Tyler Noisy show at the end of it all. All right, I mean, like about 12 kills at the end of that search and destroy for a 6-1 finish overall on the standoff search. Ottawa just... the cohesion. If yesterday was just a little bit of a warm-up, just 3-0ing everybody along the way, they are just not skipping a beat. This is why they are highly regarded as some top amateurs, even in the CCL as well.
Well, we have a map number 3, raid control once again in this best-of-5 series. An opportunity for Ottawa to move on to the grand finals. Folks, it's going to be a dicey one, but it'll be a fun one, potentially able to close out this series in one final map. You're watching the Mutineers x CCL Invitational presented by Zaxby. I'm a Cormiel, alongside myself as Propercast, and we'll be back on the other side of a break for raid control. Well, with the growth of college esports, it's no surprise that a lot of more players or people that might not have gotten that college education in the first place are being able to experience that, but more importantly, improve themselves further in their lives and what they're going to be doing potentially outside of Call of Duty. And that's another one of those reasons, like, for example, with the Independence Community College roster, that, you know, these guys get an opportunity now to further their education, further their intelligence, and be able to improve not only their knowledge, but of course their expertise in a lot of different areas. So that's another one of those reasons that the college COD scene is not only brilliant for the players, but more importantly for everything that goes on behind the scenes that you don't see on the broadcast and stuff like that. But folks, welcome back to the Mutineers CCL Invitational presented by Zaxby's. And I said a little bit ago, but maybe you're a little bit more hungry now, or maybe you did get that food. And if you did get some Zaxby's, please tell me in the chat how much you enjoyed that, because I guarantee you it's going to be one of the best meals that you've ever had in your entire life. It melts in your mouth, honestly. And those sauces just... oh.
Signature sandwich is as good as the commercial does prep it up to be. I mean, like it is that fire. Also get some Texas toast. Maybe that's just me. I just like toast. I like bread. It's just good to me. I could eat garlic bread all day, Texas toast all day.
Absolutely.
And with Zaxby's just so close to me, I might just do that again like I did yesterday after the broadcast. But hopping back into the series, Alex, it's an interesting one because, I mean, on the hard point, got to see a lot of pushback from this Indy Esports roster. But Ottawa Braves just completely slam dunked them on that standoff search and destroy. So you gotta almost hope, if you're a fan of the Pirates, that they were able to take that break and reset themselves, that we're going back into a respawn. The opening, the offense is looking that way, but no one really read that Lightning hit it all the way from the flank. We're so good, though.
Well, halfway through the progress over towards the A zone, you got the point stack now with 3 players on it. Should be able to go ahead and completely get this A zone captured, and they will be able to do just that. So now it's going to be getting over towards that B zone. Plenty of time to work with here. You're only down by 1 life. Rather, you're up by 1 life over to the side of the Ottawa Braves. And the one thing that we saw inside of the search and destroy, this Tyler Noisy kicking the door down saying, hey guys, I'm here too. Will that translate over into the control. First hard point didn't go so great for him, but at the same time, they were still able to take that map.
No immediate bedroom control was held for Ottawa here, but Cruelty is trying to rectify that immediately. They're bottom bedroom right now, and this is going to put a silent stall on the offense for Indy Esports to try to push through the middle of the map as well, and Ottawa just capitalize on top of it. They do have top bedroom control now through the Pirates, and they might just be able to work this power position to get a little bit more coverage across the pool.
Sam starts to work his way through middle map. Get to look to the water steps. Alessio's going to be able to be there with the 74U. Slide challenges around the corner. That's going to, once again, allow the Ottawa Braves to kind of reset over towards the spawn side, but at the same junction. Indy Esports now pushing up the map. You got to ponder here. Will Indy Esports start to push up the map a little bit more aggressive? Will they try to hit middle map, or do they want to go directly to the water steps? Just need to be aware of the people from the side of Ottawa Braves that are not only sitting up in the kitchen right now, but more importantly, could set up a dastardly flank a little bit later on.
Defense has been so good, just cycling out just power positions. They had flipped the script as far as any sort of resemblance of evening lives up for Indy Esports, but that's a quick 3 down. Starts to come through progress, and the clock being stalled out here at B. No stack to speak of quite yet. Smart by Alessio to clear out all of kitchen, start looking at the cutout wall, because here comes the defense trying to retake the zone.
Start advantage in the life count here for the side of Independence Community College, but as 3 go down, now make it 4 for the side of Indy Esports. Ottawa Braves, once again, have wind beneath their sails, and they can start pushing back over towards the pool side. A lot of time left to work with here, 45 seconds. Again, a 5 life advantage for the side of Indy Esports, but Ottawa, they have managed to stop the progress. 2 ticks have already gone through, though, so it's going to be a really good push for the side of Indy Esports to take this round. All you got to do is get maybe 1 or 2 people on the point stacking it. You got everybody else watching either middle map or to the pool side for the kills. Through the kitchen, though, Cruelty around the corner is going to be able to find 1. Now 2 vacant for Lightning, and as you got all 4 down for the side of Indy Esports, now it's a desperation push with 20 seconds left.
This is going to be so crucial, though. There's the last respawn, 12 seconds remaining. You should be able to get onto the B zone if you are the Pirates, and the rest of Ottawa, I mean, they're all over by red. They're middle of the map. They got to collapse for this last tick. They could be stacked.
Fame from the top window. Alessio, Marxus, they both pair up for a couple. Now it's going to be Cruelty, the last one there. They've got to look back to the point. Alessio's coming around the corner, but you got Mark around the corner as well. Oh, a one-on-one gunfight could go to the side of Alessio, and it will. Indy Esports got a little bit dicey there at the end of that round, but they're going to be able to take it now with a 1-0 advantage in the control. That bodes well. So at least push a map number 4, or at least attempt to push a map number 4.
I mean, the 2v5 is always possible, I guess, if Noisy is alive, right? I mean, just going off of that 12 elim, search and destroy, I think everything's possible with Mr. 2-piece throughout that entire search, but a little bit of a miscall coming through from Ottawa. Again, just down to 1 more respawn remaining. That once they did find that 4 down, like you called, they actually flew through the middle of the map, and the push came through. The 1 elim that was needed to be found was over by the hot tub. And the Pirates were able to stop that clock, get coverage across the B zone, and well, they had to whittle their way through some very narrow choke points. Ottawa almost gifted them that ending, but never really sleep on Ottawa. Very nerdy angle coming through from Cruelty with some wallbang shots. Fame, Lightning will double down to start this round. There's the 3rd as well. Pretty convincing break-off considering Ottawa didn't lose a single life.
Well, now they can push over towards the back spawn. Keep Indy Esports from pushing up the map. Still haven't lost a life just yet. Lightning continuing to play his life. Jazerk around the corner will finally open the door for maybe a little bit of a small push from Indy Esports back over towards A, but at this point, you just want to give up A completely, allow Ottawa to go ahead and have their extra minute on the clock, and then start to work your way back over towards B, because you got Alessio who's already flanking, might be able to wake his way up in towards the top of the bedroom and start holding off the spawn, but the south side of the map is completely secured for Ottawa. Either they can push around through the backside of Laundry, maybe through middle map, and try to set up a pinch play throughout.
He's got a 74U, so Alessio's just going to buy the space, so that way Zerk can climb their way up to top bedroom. They will house that position, but what's happening is completely on the opposite side of the map. No spawn kills to really speak of. Big Head will read that there are multiple players trying to threaten jungle. Will find the first on a Noisy. Fame might just try to pinch this as well. Marcus has worked their way off through Spiral, but Fame hits it from the kitchen side and is able to find 2. Now it's all up to Alessio because the members from Indy will spawn over by Laundry, but it just can't come through in time. The rest of Ottawa were trying to get their bedroom back, and they were able to do so, so now they have presence at B.
I love that Lightning forces his way into the basketball court to continue to force that spawn out for the Indy Esports roster. Semtex up and towards the top of money. Lightning will find 2 all the way in the back, and now it's just going to be 2 last players from Indy Esports making the push to middle map. Marxus is going to be there, but now as Noisy down the staircase, he's going to have a 1 versus 1 challenge against Big Head. Is going to be Cruelty, who will trade out that kill. 2 ticks of progress over towards B. They're going for the final 3rd tick here. Everybody spawned up the map except for player number 6 in Lightning, who's going to be having the trail behind just a bit. Now a very, very nice challenge from Indy Esports. Gets everybody around the corners. It's a 1 versus 3 challenge in the middle of the map. You just got to stay down until the reinforcements get there. And as Fame comes over the top with a nice Semtex into the shot from Alessio, Lightning should be able to survive a little bit longer. And a costly team kill could come back to bite them in the butt, as it now is a 3 versus 3 towards the point.
A whole set of respawns in between these two teams as well, with a minute and 20 on the clock. 1 tick. Choose your winning condition here if you are Ottawa. You're starting to see them slow things down. They're playing off of Noisy's flank, of course, and why wouldn't you? Hits Kitchen, find the first. This is all happening off screen. Cruelty will find Alessio. That's inside of Tiki. So this is a lot of space that is going to be starting to be found. It's actually going to force Alessio to spawn all by Laundry, but Marcus will clean up Noisy inside of Kitchen. So one less power position to be worried about, but you're just down to these 8 respawns, trying to clear middle of the map. Big head, what a snap on the Lightning, but the push is still coming through from Towels.
Slowly making their way up the map. Cruelty, Fame, trying to tandem in the back. Noisy the first one up. Loves to get aggressive, but right now it's not one of those times where you can just willy-nilly challenge your way onto the point. Sure, you get a 4-life lead. Really all the way down to the end. You want to make sure you can conserve that as much as possible, specifically when you don't have that money room head glitch to work with. Noisy onto the point, though. They're trying to stack the last couple of players on at the moment. Noisy will find the shot punch there. Around the corner, Alessio can't find it. Now from the top, Jacer's got to go big. He finds the first. The Semtex stick there from Fame gets them the round win. We're tied at 1 apiece here on Raid for Control.
Full offense versus full offense. The biggest difference is that Ottawa's was just a wee bit more convincing without losing a single life. Storm A, they stack it, they get it. They have 2-minute plus on the board to be able to assault this B zone. And once they recognized that they had a whole respawn worth of lives in a lead versus Pirates, they just completely slow things down, play the eliminations, play off the flanks, and then the power positions that soon to follow. Because once the Pirates got cleared out of that bedroom that one time, Alex, they were never allowed to get that position yet again. Middle of the map was a struggle for the Pirates after that exact moment when the 2 ticks came through from Ottawa, and it was just a relentless assault. Fame now up to 17 and 12 on a 4 spree from that previous round. 14 and 10 on the opposite side from Alessio. The 2 hot streak members from the 2 different sides of this rosters, but it's actually a split push. You had one player creating a lot of noise over towards A, but it was just that one player. You see Ottawa through the middle of that. They're like, well, what was everybody else? And Lightning just hits it through open staircase, cleans 2 up with relative ease. And
okay,
why not
well,
the third?
and the third. Well, like, come on now.
Why not?
And now Noisy from behind. Jazerk tries to get the turn on, but it's going to be pretty much futile from that point on. They got almost a tick of progress over towards B. Weren't able to get it in full, but they're all the way back over towards the A site. So the south side of the map in control for Indy Esports. You got 3 players stacking the point at current. Alessio just trying to push up the map. Cruelty will get the better of him from an angle from the side on some good timing. Now from the top of the laundry room, it is going to be Lightning there. Mark almost able to find the trades, and as he drops down towards that left side, Lightning finally finds his fall, but 3-life disadvantage for the side of Indy Esports. With an Ottawa Braves team that was pretty much able to win outright on the defensive side last time while putting the lives in their favor when Indy was trying to go ahead and push on the offensive side, that doesn't bode well when you have to push not only up the map, but into the Ottawa Braves roster, who now has a hot hand after the last round win.
At 50, board here. Trying to make something happen, though. Hot bedroom cleared out. Roll the map, be crossed by Marcus, but Kitchen's not exactly rolled right now for the Pirates. Ottawa are just waiting for the moment to strike on top of this, just playing from the kills, but Marcus finding Lightning could start things out. Bad timing for Alessio to pull out that trophy system as Noisy cleans up with another 2-piece. Mr. 2-piece for the past 2 maps, it may seem. That's going to be the B zone re-secured. No ticks of progress to speak of quite yet.
You see 2 kills in the feed for the team in white, and of course you got to assume, oh, hey, maybe it's Lightning or it's Noisy. Pretty much those 2 have been the only ones who've been consistently finding 2 pieces, and as I say it speaks it into existence. Why not make it a 3-piece as well, just for the fun of it? Lightning doesn't strike in the same place twice, but here in this map, that's 3 times, all in the water staircase. Now you look back over towards the spawn side. Alessio slide challenges out around the corner, and sure, you're going to be able to find that kill, but it's still 15-13 with a minute left on the clock.
Kitchen control for Zerg, but they're up here by their lonesome. They're really relying on the push from Hot Tub to come all the way through. Marcus, again, finds Cruelty. How good has Marcus been on this specific offense alone, just finding these very crucial long-range engagements? But like I said, Zerg was inside Kitchen by their lonesome. Untradeable, it may seem. We're stopping the clock here at 56 seconds, but a lot of these angles and a lot of these flanks haven't been fully covered. There's Alessio, there's Zerg coming off the respawn. Does find 2 more. That's a clean kill feed for Indy Esports. How has coverage of the B zone.
And they have a 3-life lead as well. So now everybody from the side of Ottawa Braves has to sprint back over towards the point. They've got to get back on it because it's stacked up right now. You're halfway through the last bit of progress on the site as well. Now Noisy will slide onto the point. Noisy will fall. Lightning from the top of money window tries to contest the point. But Indy Esports, they did a great job of getting back onto the point once again. We've gone offense for offense every single round so far. Although that one looked a little bit scary for the side of Indy Esports at one point. That big heat that they got a little bit towards the end of that round allowed them to not only get on that point, but more importantly, force Ottawa to spawn all the way out over towards launch.
Full clear offense for offense so far here in between both the Pirates and the Braves. I mean, this isn't exactly something that we're always used to seeing here at the collegiate level, but this is what we're going to expect, again, for these colleges that are reaching out and actually recruiting some pretty good talent. I mean, look at Alessio, 21 and 15, 22 and 21 for Zerg on the opposite side. Fame was having themselves quite a day, 21 and 19, 21 and 21 to Lightning, and Noisy's at 21 and 20. Everybody just doing their part. The offense so far for Ottawa, again, they've been taking this A zone pretty darn quickly. This time around, Indy Esports doesn't give it up without a fight.
Jayzerker on the left side corner. Blue Band Heglich not going to work out just yet. Second bit of progress before the contest can finally come through. Fame in middle map with the help of Noisy will find the kill there. As Lightning starts to slow peek back over towards the left portion side. This is going to be the side of Ottawa, who should be able to get this A zone, and will. It's going to be an extra minute on the clock. Pretty much a very similar round, I should say. I don't want to say picture perfect, because last time it was Ottawa who got 4 kills down before Indy Esports can even get a little bit of progress on the map. But still a 2-life advantage now. Make it 1. They can start dwindling this back down a little bit, but you got to look to Lightning. This over by Laundry on a 3 spree, trying to make some noise in the back line. They got player number 7 in Cruelty, looking to middle map for a challenge out of Kitchen.
A lot of time to start taking dents into the armor of this life lead and just all life department for the Pirates. That's the name of the game. Just under 2 minutes now after that quick capture of A. You also have Noisy off screen over by Tiki. They did find one on the big head, but Marcus does end up cleaning that up. Again, the Pirates cannot get top bedroom control. The middle of the map, all offense long for Ottawa, when we've seen them, have always been so good at making sure that that is in their control. A lot of people here for the Pirates in the middle of the kitchen. They're going to be able to at least find one. They know that Lightning is still here as well, but holding this position has to be a massive focal point to stop this push that's coming on the pool side.
First kill, Noisy falls. Cruelty, the second one to go down for Ottawa Esports. This is looking like it could be potentially Indy Esports win on the defensive round, although we still got a lot of time left before we can really solidify that fact. Gotta think what it would mean to get to a map number 4 for Indy Esports, who played map number 1 so close against Ottawa, but just barely able to not get that win, despite a late resurgence that they were able to break into P5. Ottawa, now the streaks are going to come in. Lightning going to be able to find a couple, trying to get it into the kitchen. You're going to try and get not only progress here, but force the black line of Indy Esports all the way into the basketball court for their middle map. You find the kill. Well, look at Big Head, who's coming all the way on the flank right now. Is going to be able to find the first one with the 74U around the left side corner. He's got a one-on-one gunfight, but off the spawn side, here comes Fame trying to flank now Alessi, or rather Big Head from Indy Esports, who made that initial flank play happen in the first place. Basketball court Heglich going to go to the way of Noisy as he's able to find that kill. 13-10 in the life count. Trying to force around number 5, but for Indy Esports, trying to send us to a map number 4. It's going to be down to the wire with 10-11 the lives remaining.
So the map still being covered. Pirates can't find a convincing defensive kill feed, so that way they can try to get top bedroom, but they might not just need it. If they can continuously keep Kitchen in their possession, but Alessio will go down as well as Dirk. The battle inside of Tiki, oh, it got weird, but Big Head's now the last defensive player that is over here. You got Lightning inside of Kitchen zoning things away.
Stack on the point. 2 ticks of progress are going to be at B before they can go ahead and slide challenge onto the point. You get Jayzerk, though, with that first blood. That's going to force things back a little bit. Lightning inside of the kitchen will be traded out by Big Head. Now in money window. Fame, the AR, going to get the shots over the top. Now Cruelty there to find the kill. Round 5 has been forced here inside of map number 3. Indy Esports, you can start the reverse sweep. But for the side of Ottawa Braves, you can close it out here in map number 3 with a 3-0 win in your spot in the grand finals.
Yeah, I mean, at this point now, I guess if you're one of these two teams, all Cold War year long, especially we were only playing a handful of control maps. Moscow was still in the mix. Checkmate Garrison. We were always looking, oh, we want defensive side. This might be one of those instances where you really want to have offense. And, well, the Pirates, they're going to end up getting it. And throughout their offensive rounds, yeah, say what you will, towards the end of their first, it was a 2v5 that actually almost ended up coming through for Ottawa, but they were still able to do it. Converting on offensive rounds is very tough to do against a very stellar team like Ottawa, and this opening breakoff is explaining why. What a change. Lightning just through the middle of the map has some help as well. Fred has already been cleared.
I don't know how I feel about that, because Indy Esports, what worked for them those first 2 offensive rounds was just going straight either towards A or straight towards B. They hit the middle of the map there, and sure, you're still at 27-27, now to make it 26 at a tie. But now the standstill is going to come through. The lightning strike's going to be used. You got to think by it's the side of Ottawa. They're not going to be able to find anything with it, though. So as Fame invests the streaks there, isn't able to find all that much. Still tied at 25 apiece, but you go through middle map right there, you lose so many lives, and you don't get that quick opening break off over towards A. 23 seconds might not seem like a lot there, but from what these teams have averaged to get on that first hard point, add that extra minute onto the clock, they've been working with about 2 minutes 17, 2 minutes to 20 seconds a piece on both of the offensive rounds. This time, though, it's going to be J-Zerk who opens things up with a 2-piece, 3 in a row at 33 and 31.
They got 2 ticks of progress over at B while this is all happening. Alessio's actually going to go over and assault this, and the double challenge over by Ring is going to go the way of the Pirates, and you also have coverage over towards B. Alessio will be traded, but you have 2 ticks of progress there. 2 ticks of progress have been confirmed at A. In Ottawa, you just got to give this up. You're going to end up leaving Fame to maybe find a couple of exit eliminations over by Tiles. I mean, if you can contest it, it'd be great, but they're going to go down. 2 minutes on the board. 18 v 15 now for the Pirates to force a map number 4, and they got a decent amount of time to do it.
Cruelty. 2-piece over on the water side. Gonna try and look for a few more kills as they start to push off the respawn block out of the money window. Alessio gonna be the first one to challenge outside. J-Zerk traded out by Cruelty in middle map. Now here comes Marks, the middle map as well. You have 4 players from the side of Ottawa who are all making their way either into the kitchen or over towards the point. Fame gonna be able to trade out yet another kill. On 4 in a row now, though, is Cruelty over towards that water side. And you got a player number 8 in Noisy who's getting aggressive over towards the bedroom side. 29 and 32. So many engagements for both of these two teams all the way down here to the end of the control. If you're not extremely positive or extremely negative, you're right around the middle right now. And it pretty much is everybody from both of these two teams who are both and all so close together.
What's the best way that Pirates have a good look to try to get this B zone? You can see that it's player number 4 on the map. Big Head actually does find the first, but doesn't fully read that there's a second over there. Cruelty, the lone wolf over here inside of Tiki, is just playing with them. The confirmation, there's a second player up there. Fame will clean them up. That was Zerk. Now bedroom control. It's all going to be here for the Pirates, and they're going to recognize we got this with relative ease, so they're probably going to end up pushing through the middle of the map or looking for recontrol.
And you got to watch for Fame. Laying down, playing so passive. We saw this push here from Ottawa in round number 2 when they tried to get back over towards the B site when they had 2 ticks of their own. It worked out beautifully for them. And through middle map, here comes Big Head. Water staircase head glitch there from Noisy. He's going to be able to find this second. You look for the trade, though. There it is. Lightning, Noisy, now in a 1 versus 2 in the middle of the map. But you only have 4 respawns. Rather, no respawns remaining. Only 4 lives remaining from the side of Indy Esports as you now try to push back over towards the point. Big Head around the corner is going to be able to find the shots there under the player of Noisy. Now over towards the top. You got Fame inside of Tiki. 3 versus 7 to go ahead and try to force a map number 4. You're on the point. The contest comes through. Lightning in the basketball court. Maybe an aggressive challenge, but you got to go. J-Zerk's going to be there. Tries to get the shots over towards the top left. It won't matter. The Ottawa Braves, despite losing every defensive round to start things off, they come back with the final defensive round to close out the series in a 3-0. That's not only the composure that the side of Ottawa Braves brings to the table, but more importantly, that's that beautiful, beautiful composure that they bring everywhere, throughout every single map. And the ability to close out, that's that veteran ability that only Ottawa possesses throughout the entirety of the CCL.
And they stay flawless throughout the entire weekend as well here with this 3-0 in winners finals, solidifying and punching their ticket to grand finals here in the CCL X Mutineers event presented by Zaxby. So, yeah, I mean, it got close. That might have been one of the first respawns that we will probably see them drop in quite some time. But when it's all said and done, that is just rolled in a nutshell, right? You end up seeing, defense for defense, offense for offense, and then we finally see side swap, and then we see the first of either or in the 5th and final round. All jokes aside, Ottawa are just so smart in just being able to recognize what they can do to be able to force out these win conditions.
Sure.
The lives were even for the majority of that 5th and final round until one crucial moment where we found a lot of middle of the map coverage, and then once we ended up seeing the Pirates just say, okay, forget about bedroom. Let's try to go all the way through the middle of the map. Let's try to go all the way through ring and maybe go on the backside. No access. You do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Fame was watching it. Top bedroom was going to be there from Cruelty and Lightning as well. And then you had Noisy or Lightning, whoever was feeling the hot hand, just hitting flanks continuously. It's so annoying. It must be just being one of these teams, just having to deal with that continuously. But Ottawa, they know their strengths and they're playing them well.
Yep. Last year, we really only had one team that we were like, oh, they have a shot to beat Ottawa here. Both sister teams as well, not just the Ottawa Black roster, but the Ottawa Gold roster too. And when you look at some of the competition we've just seen from the Summer Open, from here inside of the Mutineers CCL Invitational presented by Zaxby's, you look at so many of these teams that now have put together rosters that are not only going to be top tier, but now have the potential not only in the respawn, because respawns where Ottawa was really beating everybody. You would only see them maybe lose a couple S&Ds here and there throughout the entire year, but the respawn was so well put together in practice that it didn't really matter if you were winning those S&Ds. You couldn't steal a respawn off the Ottawa Braves roster. Now you look at a roster like Indy Esports, you look at St. Edward's University, who are also in the losers finals now, awaiting Indy Esports, and that'll be your losers finals. They also look really good, and there's going to be so many more teams that are going to be built inside of not only this offseason, but into the Vanguard year, and of course returning teams that are only going to get better with time and age, like a fine wine, that are going to be able to go up against Ottawa, maybe be able to take them down, but more importantly, it's not going to be that kind of situation where Ottawa almost has a cakewalk to the grand finals to face against one another. This time they're going to have to go through an extreme, almost gauntlet of teams if they really want to get to that point. But that's not to say that the other teams aren't going to have to face a lot of adversity as well, because with the amount of new teams, the amount of really good, solid players, not only from the Challenger scene, but from the Call of Duty community in general, that are going to be playing inside of the next season of the CCL, everything is looking fantastic, not only for Ottawa at this point, but also these other teams that are really starting to form and come to fruition.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, we've only really seen the cream of the crop as so far. Just the tip of the iceberg, if you will, of some of these different colleges who are giving now a lot of esports programs their chance to not only pursue a college education, but also compete in the esport that they know and love. This is coming through from both the Ottawa teams as well. They got a whole facility over there. The same could be said for St. Edwards. You take a look at the Pirates as well. Although they fall 3-0 here, it was a close map one, and it was an even closer map number 3, the Search and Destroy. Not close at all, but even still, this is what you're going to get through recruiting, through the ability to be able to build a foundation for collegiate esports as a whole. We will continue to see stiffer and stiffer competition, and we've only got 3 teams left. That will be the rest of the matches that we will be treated to as the day continues.
Well, before we go to break, once again, I want to give a huge shout out not only to Zaxby's for being able to be the presenting sponsor of this event, but more importantly, making this all possible, as well as the Mutineers to go ahead and also make this possible as well. It's been a pleasure not only working with both of these two on this community, or rather on this College COD Invitational, but more importantly, also a huge shout out to Nature Bounty Brain HP. Again, 18 and older, you must be to buy this product. But again, no caffeine in these products. So you're not going to get those jitters. You're not going to shake while you're playing and everything like that. But more importantly, it's going to block out that blue light. It's going to be a filter, going to give you that increased visual perception. And it's just all around a great tasting product, as well as a nice product to use while you're gaming. I said it beforehand, I'll say it again. It's helped me out. It can help you out too. Again, 18 and older to get that product. But I think we're going to be doing a bit of a caster swap here as we get ready to set up our losers finals and our grand finals as well. We're going to set it to a quick break. When we come back, it's going to be the losers finals between the Independence Community College Pirates and the St. Edward's University roster.
All right, soldiers.